Oh, hey guys. Before the video begins, I just want to say that this video is sponsored by Audible. So Among Us just came out on the Switch. Phenomenal. Great idea. Right as everyone's beginning to burn out on the game. Now, I don't speak for everyone, but I am atting everyone. This is a public service announcement. I think we've all played this game a bit too much, to the point where I don't really want to play this anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the social antics of this game, but I got bored. Sure, you can play with different people and the dynamic with who you're playing with changes the game up a lot, but that doesn't make me less burnt out. Oh, you're bored? You can't be bored. You haven't played Twister with him yet. But we're in a bit of a dilemma with two elements at play. One, Among Us is getting kind of stale and boring, and two, I really enjoy gaslighting people. New map? Shmoo schmap. That was stupid. So what I'm trying to say is I want to play Among Us, but just not Among Us. Whether you're waiting for the next update or genuinely don't give a rat's crack and just want a new fun game to play with your friends, then sit back, relax, and listen to me as I cure a first world problem. Guys, I don't want to alarm you, but I saw a book. But thanks to Audible, I don't have to worry about my phobia of physical reading because it's all glorious, crispy audiobooks. Listen to audiobooks whilst you cook, take a bath, cry on the floor. But if you stopped what you were doing and went into a different room, you could play on another device right where you left off.
Alexa, resume the Lorax.
Or you can save titles to your library, download them, and listen offline. So even if you're in a place without a connection, you can keep listening. And with Audible Plus, you get full access to the Plus catalog with thousands of audiobooks and Audible originals like Grown Up's Guide to Dinosaurs. What? If we're honest, who doesn't like hearing dinosaur words said out loud to them?
Dinosaurus.
That's a good time. Audible has a lot of content I usually wouldn't have the time to read, so having a month of Audible Plus with no limitations gave me the chance to try out and discover new stuff worry-free.
But I'm broke.
Well, that's perfect, because if you visit audible.com/getmadz, you can get 30 days of access to the Plus catalog and get an audiobook to keep for free.
No, like, actually, I'm broke.
Well, fear not, my good friend, because you'll be sent a reminder before your trial ends.
But I'm blind.
Dude, it doesn't even matter about audiobooks.
I have trouble hearing.
Wait, really?
What?
Wait, what? Visit audible.com/getmadz, or you can text GetMadz to 500 500. That's audible.com/getmadz, or text GetMadz to 500 500. Wait a second, you've been here the whole time?
Oh, sorry.
That was a bit strange. So Among Us is known as a social deduction game. Not to be confused with social seduction games like Tinder or climbing the corporate ladder, the social deduction genre is all about doing detective work and figuring out who is who, or making fibs. And a quick browse on Steam, there's bloody loads of these games, but a few stand out among the rest, and I want more people to play them with. Now, the main squadron I played Among Us with were my patrons on my Discord server. So after Spaceship Cluedo left us schlumped, credit to them, because these were the guys to find these new games, one of which I way prefer than Among Us. Jackbox Party Pack is a collection of party games that caters to the having fun with your friends niche. They got drawing games, trivia games, trying to be funny games, and a social deduction game. Oh, would you look at that? This is Push the Button. You and up to 9 others are on a spaceship. What? Each round, a player is set as captain, and they get to choose a test, as well as the subjects for that test. Drawing a prompt, answering a question. However, some of the players on board are aliens. Oh no! Now they are given slightly altered prompts just to try and catch them out from the rest of the crowd. So they might have to justify something which is obviously not true, all whilst trying to blend in with the other players' answers. Find all the aliens and eject them into space before time runs out, or too bad, lol. One of the best things about this game compared to other social deduction games is that everyone can play until the end. There's no downtime for players. Push the button is all or nothing. If you get one player wrong, the aliens win. This puts a lot more on the line when trying to catch people out, especially when aliens can also hack the prompts to make innocent crewmates look guilty. All of this, plus a big countdown in the corner, can make the final decision of this game bonkers. All you need is one person with a game to put it on a TV or screen share on Discord, and you're good to go. But what about a more intense experience? Anyone else suddenly freezing? Stranded on Cool Mountain, you and up to 7 others look to escape before a big blizzard comes, and you get a lovely bit of hypothermia. Gather materials, craft stuff, find and repair the first objective. Bears, don't starve, stay warm, find and repair the second objective. Wolves, call for rescue using the cabin radio, get to the helicopter, and boom, you've escaped. Actually, that's kind of a lot of stuff to do. Oh, and some of your teammates might be a bit murderous. Traitors must do everything in their power to make sure no one escapes, plant traps, and use the map to their advantage like tunnels and traitor chests, all while trying to blend in with the survivors. You see, instead of a bunch of individual tasks, it's 2 big ones, which are done exponentially easier if everyone's working together. And the way you can communicate in this game is what really makes it stand out. The whole game is proximity-based voice chat, so you can only hear or speak to people who are near you. The further you go from them, the less they can hear you. Unless you find a walkie-talkie, then you're fine. So if you and a teammate go out into the wilderness to gather materials, you better hope he isn't a traitor, because your other teammates are going to be blissfully unaware that you're gone. They can also disguise themselves as other players, which, geez Louise, I love this feature.
Oh, hey, Matt.
And if the survivors do figure out who's a traitor, there is a voting system. This is the safe house. You can craft here, regain warmth. It's the whole base of operation. But when you vote someone out, they don't just evaporate into the atmosphere. They are just locked out of the building. It's going to make it much harder to survive out in the cold if they don't have enough supplies, but if a traitor has campfires, food, and maybe a bit of help from a traitor on the inside, they can still win. I love a lot about this game, but I really think it would benefit with a game mode option for a different camera angle. They have these cool lookout spots in the game which change the camera angle dynamically and look super nice, so imagine playing the game like this all with a third or first person view. Sounds really fun. Nonetheless, this is still a really good time. What's the first thing that happens when something becomes too popular?
I don't want to play with you anymore.
What's the second thing that happens when something becomes too popular? It's made in Minecraft. Ooh, blocks. Not gonna lie, playing this game in Minecraft is absurdly fun. This made me realize that I way prefer social deduction games in first person, especially in meetings when everyone's looking at each other. Doing the tasks was a bit silly, but nonetheless, this is still super cool that it even exists, and is definitely worth a try. Now, these games are all fun and all, but remember when I said credit to them, because these were the guys to find these new games, one of which I way prefer than Among Us. And that game is Aggro. Aggro? Have you ever heard or played the party game Werewolves? See, when Among Us first started getting popular, I heard a lot of my friends say, oh, it's like Werewolves, but online. Mate, where are the werewolves? We're in a spaceship. That title should go to Aggro. And in case you've never heard of Werewolves and don't trust the WikiHow, this is Aggro. Population 4 to 12 players. You are a villager. You sit around a campfire and deduct who are the stupid little werewolves attempting to take everyone out. Do some detective work, share information, and vote off suspicious culprits likely to be werewolves. If only villagers remain, villagers win. But you could be very hairy. You are the werewolf. You sit around a campfire, blending in with the crowd. But every night, you and your merry band of fluffy bastards vote a villager to say farewell. Shift blame, play mind games. If only werewolves remain, werewolves win. There's no extra dangly bits like tasks. It's purely social deduction. And in my opinion, it's done to perfection. It's easy to understand, hard to master, has loads of ways to change up the game, and has an incredibly fun gameplay loop. During the day, everyone can talk to each other, assess the situation, vote who to murder, etc. However, at night, out come the werewolves. Now, these guys are spoiled. They can see in the dark, they get a private group chat, which I'm not in, and they can decide to take someone out by pointing at players and nodding their heads. See, throughout the entire game, you can see who's looking at you, which can actually be a really useful tool to deduct suspects and put suspicious players under pressure. It's so weird and cool that the visuals can become a viable mechanic for the game. Even just in debates, seeing accusations play out with everyone staring and pointing is such a fun undertone of pressure, making it feel almost like a real-life game of werewolves. So it's just for two sides, villagers and werewolves. No, you're wrong. Nah, mate. Nah. Because each player is assigned a role, and some of these really change up how the game is played. The roles are randomly assigned to players and are broken up into 3 teams: villagers, wolves, and Knuckles Chaotix. Turns out that joke loosely makes sense because Team Chaotix are detectives for hire, and we're talking about social deduction games. I honestly just said that because it sounded funny. I've never played the game. First is the obvious villager role, which is a bit boring. Then there's the protection roles for guard and the witch, which have abilities to protect other players during the night. Then there's information roles: seer, little girl, tamer, witch again, necromancer, and medium. Every information role is super useful. The little girl has a short period of visibility at night. Tamers can sniff out if someone sitting next to them is a wolf. And a necromancer can text ghosts. But medium sucks. You ask ghosts to place candles. Bad. Then there's the event roles like dictator or hunter, and then we have the bollocks roles: crow and cupid. Stupid bloody bird and codependency. Crow can add 2 votes to anyone they like for the next day, and cupid puts 2 people in love and onto their own team. But if one of you is a wolf and the other isn't, you're squabbled. Because if one of you bids farewell, the other thinks this is Romeo and Juliet. Next, the wolves, which is werewolf, misty wolf, black wolf, and anesthetic. Now, all these roles are chaotic because you're a bloody werewolf. But the standout role is definitely the black wolf because they have the ability to turn anyone into a wolf. So, bit dangerous if I'm honest. But then there's also the white wolf, which is like an imposter within the group of wolves. Their goal is not only to take out all the villagers, but all the wolves as well. Super challenging, but super fun if it's able to be pulled off. But wait a second, white wolf wasn't mentioned when I talked about Team Wolf. That's because it's Team Knuckles Chaotix! Along with white wolf, we also have the influencer, basically an achievement hunter. Assassin, you have a knife. Pyromaniac, you have gasoline and a match and can do this. And finally, the most stupid role in the game, Angel. If you die in the first round, you win. It's very funny.
Please don't tell me you're an angel.
So, those are all the roles. But then there's the mayor. At the beginning of the game, usually after the first murder, you elect a mayor. Then whenever there's a draw between the vote, the mayor gets to break it even and choose who gets turned to mulch. This isn't Rogueport. The game also has some pretty fun cosmetics you can unlock the more you play. So if you play enough, you can have a really big hat or a really big gravestone. Combining the gameplay loop with the various amounts of roles and the ability to customize what information can be shown can make this game one of the most big-brained, funniest multiplayer experiences I played this year. Please play a growl. I still don't know how to pronounce it. Or you could just stop playing social deduction games and play, I don't know, Minecraft. Hello lads, it's almost 5 in the morning. I just want to say huge thank you to all the patrons you see on screen because this video literally wouldn't be possible without them. Over the past couple of months, we've really been into these games and I was having so much fun that I decided to make a video about it. And if you guys want to join us in playing these games occasionally, well, I'm also going to let you guys in on a little secret. We have a patron exclusive Minecraft server now. My Patreon page is actually going over an entire overhaul right now. So if you haven't seen the page in a while, it might be worth a look. And huge thank you to my good old friend Jack from Jackademia for helping out with some incredible assets, and big thanks to the incredible U-Tunes for that tremendous appearance. And as the Christmas season comes to an end, I want to quickly say thank you so much to everyone who entered the art raffle over on my Discord. That was very fun and I hope to do more like that in the future.